This is the updated Volkswagen Taos, and in this detailed review, I'm going to put its all-wheel drive system through a torture test and take it out into the trenches.
And I'm going to show you the interior and exterior and see how she drives on the road.
This is a TFL slip test, and in this test we get various wheels stuck on purpose in these rollers to see how the all-wheel drive system responds to get us unstuck, to simulate snow and ice and slush and also some mud or mild off-road situations as well. So the first test is the front wheel slip test. The front wheels are stuck and the rear wheels are going to have to engage to get us unstuck. So backing onto the rollers, nice. Put the car into neutral, we're going to let it settle. Then in normal mode, no special terrain programs or anything, we're just going to go into drive like you drive this car every day and see if we can gently accelerate off. In 3, 2, 1, on the accelerator. Okay, perfect result. So clearly the rear wheels were engaged, ready to go. There was no like halodex delay like we'd seen in some older cars. We pulled right down. The next test is the diagonal slip test. So the left front and the right rear are stuck in the rollers. The other two are going to have to start spinning if we're going to get unstuck. Imagine you're driving up like a snowy curb. This is a very common situation. Let's see how the traction control system works to get us unstuck. In the rollers, into neutral, letting the vehicle settle, into drive, off the brake in 3, 2, 1, onto the gas. Okay, so pretty good results. So you saw that initial spin from the tires that were stuck, then the traction control engaged, slowed them down, sent torque to the wheels on the ground, and we drove right off. On to the next one. Now for one of the hardest tests that we can put this car through, the first three-wheel slip test. Both rear wheels totally stuck. Left front totally stuck. Only the right front is on the ground, and that's the wheel that's going to have to engage if we're going to get unstuck. We're settled in neutral, into drive. I'm just starting out in the normal mode. If we need to go into the snow mode, or if we need to go into a different setting like the all-terrain mode, we can as well. But just starting out in the standard mode. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, onto the accelerator. Come on, car, figure it out. Trying to slip off. No, we're stuck. You can feel the torque of the engine actually manipulating the car around. Let's try the snow mode. Let's see if that gets us unstuck. Oh, we just need a little bit more torque transfer. All right, what about the off-road mode? So off-road mode engaged. Definitely a different traction control programming. You can feel it working pretty hard, but we are still stuck. Let me go back to the snow mode. That seems to be the mode with the most chance of getting us unstuck. Interesting. Let me see what's happening and see if there's anything we can do to adjust our test here. So this is actually a pretty interesting predicament. Our problem is not actually the all-wheel drive system, it's these tires. They are not getting enough grip on the pavement to get us unstuck because that right front is spinning. I see the burnout marks underneath that tire. So the all-wheel drive system, the traction system are doing its job, but unfortunately the tires just don't have the grip to get us out of this situation. There we go, there we go. So after enough throttle, we were able to do it. So this is an interesting test because the failure was more with the tires in this case than the all-wheel drive system or the traction control. I think with a set of more grippy tires, that would have been much easier. Final slip test is with one wheel on the ground in the back. So only the right rear is on the ground in this test. Going right into the snow mode, that seems to be working out the best for us. In a neutral, let the vehicle settle, drop her down into drive. Here we go. So this feels very different than what we got in the front. There we go. Now we got some action in the back. It's really struggling to get us unstuck with just one rear wheel. I can see it trying. Come on, baby, come on. These Kumo tires really working for everything they got. Okay, really interesting. Smell a tire. So actually, The all-wheel drive system works pretty good. I'm really impressed with the torque distribution, the traction engagement. It all feels really good, and I like how there's a different character in snow mode, the normal mode, than off-road mode. Our problem is just grip today. We just don't have enough grip to get us unstuck with one tire. We're doing that burnout, we're getting it hot, and eventually we get it hot enough with enough traction it pulls us off, but these Kumos are not working as well as I'd like to see out of a stock tire on a brand new car.
Under the hood of the new Taos has the best improvements in my opinion. It has the new 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which is even more powerful than the previous Taos, giving us 174 horsepower. This engine is mated with the new updated, very welcomed 8-speed automatic transmission, which is a lot better than the previous 7-speed dual clutch system that they had before, which was just not very smooth. So let's talk about the side of the Taos. First off, we have these really nice silver roof rails, which makes it look very adventurous. Now, this does not have the panoramic sunroof, but that is an option that you can get. And also with the SE Black option, it will also come with black skull caps, which gives it a little bit more of an adventurous look. And then even though this is kind of a mid-grade market car, this still has the remote proximity unlock and lock feature, even on the passenger side, which is a really, really nice thing to have. Checking out the wheels here, we have an 18-inch dual color alloy wheel, which I think looks really, really nice, especially paired with this cornflower blue. You can get a 17-inch wheel, which will give you a taller sidewall. And if you wanted to get a big bad boy wheel, you can get the 19-inch wheels as well.
With the Volkswagen up on the list, we can talk about some of its engineering features. Now, this is a unibody construction vehicle, meaning there's no frame, and it is a transverse mounted engine setup, which means the engine runs side to side like this. Moving to the suspension, we can see a basic McPherson strut front suspension. Not a lot of skid plating to talk about underneath here. This is definitely a vehicle made primarily for on-road use. Tires are pretty thin, just 215 in width. Moving down the center of the vehicle, we can see the exhaust, the catalytic converter, runs right down the middle with the drive shaft just above it. The fuel tank actually lives in the back here in a sort of saddle design where it's spans both sides of the vehicle. We've got our VW AG muffler here, and then out back things get a little bit interesting because the suspension is going to vary based on all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. This is the all-wheel drive version. Of course, you can tell by the little half shafts there, and this uses a multi-link rear suspension versus the front-wheel drive, which actually still uses a twist beam. So if you want that better suspension, you do have to upgrade to the all-wheel drive version. And then out back we find probably the most egregious part of this car, which are the exhaust tips, which come out the bottom, even though it looks like they should come out the back, which Jen is about to show you.
Something really cool in the back of this Taos is this end-to-end light bar with this illuminated Volkswagen badge. Look at that. You want to see something not very cool? These totally fake exhaust tips. Checking out the interior of this new Taos, first thing I notice are these really cool seats. We have this leatherette and cloth mixture, and it's nice that even in an entry-level car, they're offering more than just black. This is this really cool gray tone in here, this really nice stitching in the middle. This looks really, really nice. Love to see something like that other than just black seats. Checking out the display in the new Taos, we have this 8-inch touchscreen that's integrated really nicely into the dash. And one thing you're gonna notice, this is actually from a previous generation, which gives us back our knobs, y'all. I love having knobs in the touchscreen where everything isn't just touch only. We've got a couple nice little shortcuts here, and I think it actually just gives you everything that you need. Not too bad. Coming down to the temperature controls in the Taos, we have these really cool sliders, which will control not only how hot and how cold your temperatures are, but also the fan speeds. I know I've always talked about how I want actual manual buttons, but I do think this is very intuitive, and it's better than just the haptic buttons that you see in some other vehicles. Up here we do have heated seats, and you can get ventilated seats in different options as well. Right here, we've got a wireless charging pad for your phone, which is awesome to see in a entry-level car. And back here, we have a manual shifter. Love to see the manual shifter coming back. I know a lot of different car companies are trying to reinvent the wheel with dial shifters, but love to see a manual shifter. No thrills, gets the job done. Know how to use it. Back here we have even a couple different drive modes. We got snow, normal, which will even offer things like sport, off-road, and you can customize your different drive modes as well. We have a leatherette wrapped steering wheel, which is also heated. Love to see it. And we've got these nice buttons. They don't feel too inexpensive either. They actually have a nice action, good click. And then coming up to our display here, we have even a few different display options of what you want to see. Everything is integrated really, really nicely. I think it's pretty great. Checking out the back seat of the Taos, you can see that the same design is integrated into the back, which I love to see. They didn't skimp out in the back seat passengers. We got this same dual color leatherette with cloth mixture. Looks really, really cool. And then we have a nice little armrest with some cup holders. The squish factor is real with this one, y'all. This is very, very comfortable, really nice to have. And then as far as temperature controls, you can't control the temperature, but we do have adjustable air vents, which is nice to have. And you've got a USB-C.
Okay, folks, now time for the part I've been waiting for, the off-road test of the Volkswagen Taos. So I'm going to put this car into the off-road drive mode. This car actually has really good hill descent control. It's a little bit of speed variation too, so I can set it to the speed I want to go down. So there's 3, 4. Yeah, I'm really impressed with some of the off-road features in a car that's clearly not meant to go off-road. It's not a bad little unit. Now, we're going to tackle the trenches course. The trenches course are these offset grooves dug into the earth, which is a real-world representation of the TFL slip test. So we're going to get lined up. Now, this vehicle is clearly not intended for heavy-duty off-road use, but you know, for mild off-road use, to get you to the cool trailheads, to get you to the cool camp spots, I do want to see how it performs. It's also representative of maybe how we're going to see this vehicle perform in the snow. So turn the parking sensors off like that. Going to get positioned into the holes just like that. Only 7.6 inches of ground clearance on the Taos, so not a ton of clearance. We're going to try to keep that radiator from being buried into the dirt. Nope. Okay. Gentle on the throttle. We're going to get this transition where we're going to kind of teeter the vehicle over. That was handled quite nicely, actually. Good job, little Volkswagen. The off-road programming is really good, and this is where we see the new Taos shine compared to the old one. The old Taos with the dual clutch really struggled at slow speed power delivery. It was like an on and off switch, not even in trenches, but just kind of driving around every day in the town. This new one, so much better. I'm taking it slow on purpose, trying to be hard on the all-wheel drive system to make it as tough as I can, but it's just tackling it like a dream. Okay, we're at the top of the hill. This is where it's going to be the most wheel lift. Come on, little guy. Come on. Full throttle. Oh, we do appear to be kind of stuck, actually. Huh. There we go. Okay, parking sensors off. Let's see if I can't take a slightly different line at it. Just a little bit of momentum. Come on, little Taos. Let's see what you got, buddy. There you go. Climb! Climb, Taos! Climb! Come on, buddy! It's working so hard. Everything you got. What if I go into the snow mode? We saw some really good results out of that earlier. Oh, definitely worse in the snow mode. Okay. I can't take this with any momentum. I don't want to tear a bumper off. Come on, buddy. Let's see what you got. Oh! We're so close! Yes! Yes! Woo! Holy moly! Well, I thought for sure we weren't going to get up that, but with enough persuasion and enough throttle, the little Volkswagen did it. No overheating warnings, pretty good torque delivery. Obviously, that was pretty extreme for just the entry-level crossover, but very impressed with that. That added horsepower and torque in this new 1.5 really paid off today. Good job, Volkswagen.
driving the Taos, we are starting off on some unpaved gravel roads, but it's really not that bad. Just made the switch over to pavement, and honestly, on that gravel road, it really felt like it was absorbing a lot of the imperfections, the cracks, the rocks, everything. Like it felt really, really nice. On this paved road, different story. Well, different in that it's still really nice, but the pavement is different. It's very smooth, no complaints at all. Handling, it's very responsive, not very loose in the steering wheel. I feel like whatever turn I'm gonna make, it's gonna be following with me very easily. Let's see what she's got for a little bit of acceleration. I'm gonna slow her down. We're at 30. Let's get her down to about 25. Give her the beans. We are foot to the floor, a little bit of turbo lag there, but once she reaches it, you feel it, especially up at elevation here. Pretty happy with that. So one thing people are very mindful of when they're shopping around is fuel economy. And this is coming in hot at 28 miles per gallon, which is fantastic. Another thing people are mindful of, how safe is it? You know, what are some good driver assistance features? And Volkswagen offers IQ Drive, which has things like travel assist, which is a semi-automated driver assistance feature. It has adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist. All of that coming in at a price at $31,475. And listen, you're getting a lot for your money. You're getting heated seats, heated steering wheel, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless charging, all-wheel drive. You know, you've got a lot of bells and whistles for especially an entry-level car, and $31,475 I think is a fantastic value for this Taos.
So Jen, what are your final thoughts on the updated Volkswagen Taos?
You know, I thought it was great. If you want a fun little car to zip you around with all-wheel drive, I think this is a wonderful value.
I think it's more fun to drive than the Toyota or the Subaru. I think it's got a lot of space, more usable space in some ways than the Hyundai or Kia. It's just a great little runaround car that's much improved over the old one. As always, this has been Tommy.
And Jen.
Head over to Alt TFL for more reviews. Thanks so much for watching.